Hello students, welcome to Anne's classes. Let's do understanding shapes. That is chapter 16. We are doing exercise 16a. Page number 189. Question 10. The figure given below, that is this figure, shows a pentagon ABCDE. Pentagon means a polygon that has 5 sides. Here it says sides AB, that is AB, and ED are parallel to each other. So these two sides are parallel to each other, and BCD, here in the ratio of 5:6:7. Now we have to answer 3 questions. Using the formula, find the sum of the interior angles of the pentagon using the formula. So let's start with the first one. So sum of the interior angles of a polygon, this is the formula, and we have been asked to use this formula to find the sum of the interior angles of this pentagon. So let's do that. The sum of the interior angles of the pentagon will be n here. N stands for the number of sides, and a pentagon has 5 sides. So 5 minus 2 into 180 degrees. Now 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 into 180 degrees is 540 degrees. So we have found the sum of the interior angles of the pentagon to be 540. So this is our first answer. Now the second question is, write the value of angle A and angle E. Now this is angle A, this is angle E. We are asked to write the value of angle A and angle E. The first point that we have to make a note of is given to us AB and ED, that is AB and ED are parallel to each other. Let's make a note of that. So AB is parallel to ED. So first we have made a note of this. Now we know the properties of parallel lines, and here this line AE can be taken as a transversal of these two parallel lines. We have learned the properties of parallel lines, isn't it? And we know when a line cuts a parallel line, cuts two parallel lines, that line is called a transversal. And when a transversal cuts two parallel lines, angles are formed. So here, there's an angle formed here and an angle formed here. And this is the transversal. So let's write that. So AE behaves as a transversal, and we know that sum of co-interior angles is 180. So when a transversal cuts two parallel lines, these two angles become co-interior angles, and the sum of co-interior angles is 180. That means angle A plus angle E should be equal to 180. So this is the second question here. Write the value of angle A plus angle E. So angle A plus angle E is equal to 180 degrees. So we have got our second answer. The third question is, find angles B, C and D. B, C and D. These angles we have to find. So let's find those angles. So let's find angles B, C and D. So this is B, this is C and this is D. We have found that angles A and angle E together will add up to 180. So B, C and D is what we need to find out. Now here we've been given this ratio, isn't it? So we'll use that ratio. So let's say let angle B be equal to 5x. Now this is based on the ratio 5:6:7. Let angle C be equal to 6x and let angle D be equal to 7x. So how did we get angle B is 5x? Based on this ratio 5x, and C is 6x and D is 7x. Now if we add up all these angles, angle A, B, C, D and E, they become the interior angles of this pentagon, isn't it? Now the sum of the interior angles of the pentagon we found out. So let's write that. Sum of the interior angles of the pentagon is 540. This was the first question that we found out. So that means if I add up angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D plus angle E, I will get 540 degrees. Now we also found angle A plus angle E is 180, isn't it? So let's write that angle A plus angle E. This we found out in the second question. This is the third question in the second question. So let's write that in the second question we found out this, that angle A plus angle E is equal to 180. So in the place of these two we can write 180, and in the place of B, C and D angles we can write 5x, 6x and 7x. So let's write that. So I'll start with angle B. Angle B is 5x, angle C is 6x, and angle D is 7x. And angles A and E together will add up to 180 degrees. And altogether this is 540 degrees. Now we can add up the x here. So 5 plus 6 is 11, 11 plus 7 is 18. So that means 18x plus 180 degrees is equal to 540 degrees. So now we can find the value of 18x by saying 540 degrees minus 180 degrees. We have transposed this 180 to the other side. Now subtract these two. So when we subtract, we say 18x is equal to 360 degrees when you subtract both. Now we can find the value of x. X is equal to 360 degrees divided by 18. So when you divide this, we get 20. That means x is equal to 20 degrees. Now we are going to use this value of x to find B, C and D. Here the question is find angles B, C and D. We're going to find angles B, C and D based on this. So here we have said that angle B is 5x and x is equal to 20. So let's find the value of angle B. Angle B is equal to 5x. That means 5 into x, that is 5 into 20, which is 100. So angle B is equal to 100 degrees. Let's go to angle C. Angle C is equal to 6x, which is 6 into x, 6 into 20, which is 120 degrees. So angle C is equal to 120 degrees. Now angle D is 7x. So 7x means 7 into x. That is 7 into 20, which is 140 degrees. So angle D is 140 degrees. So we found the value of all the angles. Angle B is 100, angle C is 120, and angle D is 140 degrees. So this is our answer. Question 11. Two angles of a polygon are right angles and the remaining are 120 degrees each. Find the number of sides in it. Okay, so let's see. We are given that two angles of a polygon are right angles and the remaining angles, we don't know how many there are because we don't know the number of sides. So the remaining angles are 120 degrees each. So the number of sides of a polygon will be n. That is what we are going to find out, isn't it? And two right angles are there. In this polygon, what's given to us is two right angles. That will be, one will be 90 degrees, the other also will be 90 degrees, and together they will add up to 180 degrees. Then the number of angles of a polygon is also n because the number of sides is n. The number of sides is n, number of angles is n. Now the remaining angles will be n minus 2. N minus 2 because n is number of angles, and why we minusing 2? Because two angles are already given to us. So n minus 2 angles are 120 degrees. Isn't it? The remaining n minus 2 angles will be 120 degrees into n minus 2. Now, this we know, the sum of the interior angles of a polygon, and this is the formula, n minus 2 into 180. The sum of the interior angles. Now, what are all the interior angles? We have 90 degrees plus 90 degrees, 2. The remaining angles are 120 degrees into n minus 2. Okay, now 120 because here it says the remaining angles are 120 each. Apart from these, that is number of angles minus these two angles, it's all 120 degrees. Now this is equal to the right hand side, which is n minus 2 into 180. Now let's simplify this. So this will be 90 plus 90, which is 180 degrees, plus, now here this is multiplication. So 120 into n and 120 into 2. So 120 degrees into n will give us 120 n degrees minus, now we multiply 120 into 2. 120 into 2 is 240. 240 degrees. Now here also let's simplify. So here we have 180 degrees. Let's multiply that with n first. So that will be 180 n degrees minus 180 into 2 is 360 degrees. Now let's get all the n to one side and after solving what we can. Now here we have 180 degrees plus 120 n degrees, which we cannot solve, but we can do this. We can simplify 180 and minus 240. So let's work that out. So 180 minus 240. Signs are different, isn't it? So we put the sign of the bigger number. We subtract 240 minus 180 is 60 degrees. So here we can say 120 n degrees, or simply n minus 60, is equal to 180 n minus 360. So now let's get all the like terms together. So let's move this minus 360 to the left hand side. So it becomes 120n plus 300 plus 180n. So when you bring 180 this side, it becomes minus 180n. On the other side, we have minus 360 degrees. When we move this minus 60 to the other side, it becomes plus 60. So here what do we have? Minus, now 120 minus 180 is minus 60n is equal to minus 300. Now to find the value of n will be minus 300 divided by minus 60. So we can cancel the sign, we can cancel a 0, and here 6 also you can cancel, 6 5s are 30. So now we have our answer, n is equal to 5. And what is n? N is the number of sides in a polygon. This is the first sentence here that we've written. The first statement, number of sides of a polygon is n, and we have found that out to be 5. So you can write your answer as number of sides in a polygon is 5. Question 12. In a hexagon A, B, C, D, E, F, hexagon is a polygon that has 6 sides, isn't it? In a hexagon, given hexagon here, side AB is parallel to side FE. So now let's get a diagram for that. So we'll draw a rough diagram like this. That this is a hexagon, it has 6 sides. Now here it says side AB, this is AB, is parallel to FE. So let's draw those arrowheads to show that these are parallel lines. So these two lines are parallel to each other. So this is given to us, and it's told that angle B is to angle C is to angle D is to angle E is equal to this ratio, 6 is to 4 is to 2 is to 3. So this is given to us and this is given to us. Now we have to find angle B and angle D. Okay, so here keep this in mind. This is a hexagon. There are two sides that are parallel to each other. This is very important because we're going to use an important property of parallel lines. So first let's begin by saying that let angle B, C, D and E be in the form of this ratio. So let's write that. So let angle B be equal to 6x based on the ratio. Angle C is equal to 4x. Angle D is equal to 2x and angle E is equal to 3x. This is all based on the ratio that's given to us. So this is the first thing. Second thing is, since AB is parallel to FE, that means AF, can you see this line AF? This can be taken as a transversal cutting these two lines. So if we extend these lines, this will be a transversal that is cutting these two lines. Okay, so in that case, AF will be a transversal. AF will be the transversal cutting the two parallel lines. Now, when a transversal cuts two lines, angles are formed, isn't it? So here we can have an angle, angle F and angle A. And angle F and angle A will now become the co-interior angles because the two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. These two angles will become co-interior angles. And what is the property of co-interior angles? They are supplementary. That means angle A plus angle F will be equal to 180 degrees. So let's write that. That means angle A plus angle F is equal to 180 degrees. So now we can find all the other interior angles by using the formula. Now totally there are 6 angles. We can use the formula which says the sum of interior angles of this hexagon will be n minus 2. N is the number of sides minus 2 into 180. And what are all the interior angles? Angle A, B, C, D, E, F, isn't it? And we already know about angle A and angle F. So we have to add it all up. So that will be angle A plus angle F. We can write that first. Now let's include all the other angles. Angle B, angle C, angle D, angle E. We have 6 angles. Now this should be equal to n minus 2 into 180 degrees. So what I have written here is the sum of the interior angles of the hexagon, and this we have written it as it is. Now here whatever we can, we are going to substitute. So A plus F, we've already got that as 180 degrees. And angle B we said is 6x. So let's write that. So plus 6x plus angle C. Now angle C is 4x. So let's write that plus 4x plus angle D. And angle D is 2x. So let's write 2x plus angle E. And angle E is 3x. So let's write 3x. And this is equal to n minus 2. This is a hexagon. That means there are 6 sides and n is 6 minus 2 into 180 degrees. Now here whatever we can simplify, let's simplify. So 180 we can write it as it is. Now all the others are like terms, so we can add them all up. 6 plus 4 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, 12 plus 3 is 15. So that is plus 15x is equal to, now here 6 minus 2 is 4, 4 into 180. Okay, so this will be 180 degrees plus 15x is equal to 4 into 180 is 540 degrees. Fifteen x is equal to, now 720 minus 180 is 540 degrees. Now to find the value of x, we say 540 divided by 15. When you divide, you get 36 degrees. So that means we have found the value of x to be 36 degrees. Now we have been asked to find angles B and D, and B is 6x and D is 2x. So let's find angles B and D by keeping in mind that x is 36 degrees. So let's do that. So now that we know that x is 36 degrees, let's write that here x is equal to 36 degrees. Now we have to find angle B, and angle B is 6x. That means 6 into x, and x is 36. So 6 into x is 36. So 36 into 6 is 216. So angle B is 216. Now what about angle D? We have to find that also. Angle D is 2x. That means 2 into x, and x is 36, and that is 72 degrees. So we have found the value of angle D to be 216, angle B, and angle D is 72 degrees. So let's write that angle B is 216 degrees and angle D is 72 degrees. So we have found our answer. Question 13. The angles of a hexagon are given. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hexagon is a six-sided figure. There are 6 angles. Okay. Now we have to find the value of x. Now we know that sum of angles of a polygon. Okay, the formula, the interior angles of a polygon, in this case hexagon, is n minus 2 into 180. So all we have to do is add up these angles. So let's start. The first angle is x plus 10 degrees plus 2x plus 20 degrees plus 2x minus 20 degrees plus 3x minus 50 degrees plus x plus 40 degrees plus x plus 20 degrees is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degrees. Now here, since before the brackets we have a plus sign, we can remove the brackets without changing anything inside. So we can just write the whole thing as it is. That is x plus 10 plus 2x plus 20 plus 2x minus 20. I'm just removing the brackets and writing everything as it is. 3x minus 50 plus x plus 40 plus x plus 20. All this is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degrees. Now let's put the degree symbol for everything, all these numbers. Okay, so we have put the degree symbol. Now let's look for the x term. So I have one here plus 2x, again plus 2x, plus 3x, plus x, plus x. So let's write all the x terms together. So that will be x plus 2x plus 2x plus 3x plus x plus x. So I put all the x terms together. Now let's take the numbers. So that is 10 degrees plus 10 degrees plus 20 degrees, then minus 20 degrees, minus 50 degrees, plus 40 degrees, plus 20 degrees. All this is equal to n minus 2 into 180 degrees. So now let's work on all these x terms. X means 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. So here we have 10x. Now let's go to the numbers. 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 minus 20 is 10. 10 minus 50, okay, is minus 40. Minus 40 plus 40 is 0. 0 plus 20 is 20. Plus 20 degrees is equal to n minus 2 into 180. Now, this is 10x plus 20 and n we know is a hexagon. So, this is 6 minus 2 into 180 degrees. So this is 10x plus 20 is equal to 4 into 180 degrees. Let me continue this here. So 10x plus 20 degrees is equal to 720 degrees. That means 10x is equal to 720 degrees minus 20 degrees. So 10x is equal to 700 degrees. Therefore, x is equal to 700 divided by 10. You can cancel the zeros. You get 70. So this is our answer. X is equal to 70 degrees. So go through all the steps carefully and finally arrive at your answer where x is equal to 70 degrees. Question 14. In a pentagon, two angles are 40 degrees and 60 degrees, and the rest are in the ratio 1:3:7. Find the biggest angle of the pentagon. A pentagon is a polygon that has 5 sides, 5 angles. There are 2 angles given to us already, and 3, the ratio of the other 3 are given. Now we have to find out all the angles and see which among these is the biggest angle of the pentagon. So now 2 angles of a pentagon given to us are 40 degrees and 60 degrees. These are 2 given to us. Then let the remaining angles be based on the ratio. The first one, let it be 1 into x is 1x or simply x. Second one is 3 into x, that is 3x. And the third one is 7 into x, 7x. So these are the remaining 3 angles. So now we have 5 angles here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. Now let's use the formula. The sum of the interior angles of a pentagon is n-2 into 180. Now what are all the interior angles? All these, isn't it? So let's write it down. So that is 40 degrees plus 60 degrees plus x plus 3x plus 7x. So these are the 5 angles. This is equal to n-2. N is 5 minus 2 into 180 degrees. Let's simplify this. So here we have 40 plus 60. 40 plus 60 is 100. 100 degrees. Let's add up this. This is 1x. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 7 is 11. So that is plus 11x is equal to 3 into 180. So let's write that. 100 degrees plus 11x is equal to 180 into 3 is 540 degrees. Now let's find the value of 11x. 11x is equal to 540 degrees minus 100 degrees because we are transposing this 100 to this side. So now what do we have? We have 11x is equal to 540 minus 100 is 440. Now let's find the value of x. X is equal to 440 divided by 11. So x is equal to 440 divided by 11 is 40. So we have found the value of x. Now we can substitute it here to find the remaining 3 angles. So here we have x itself. The first angle is x. So that is 40. So let's write here. The first angle is 40 degrees. The second one is 3x. That means 3 into 40, which is 120 degrees. The third one is 7x. That is 7 into 40. 7 into 40, which is 280 degrees. So now we have all 5 angles. Let's write it down. This is the first 2 angles. Let's write down 40, 60. Now we found the other 3 angles here. Here we got 1 angle. We just found out this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Let's write down those 3 angles also. So that is 40 degrees, 120 degrees, and 280 degrees. Our question is, find the biggest angle of the pentagon. So out of these 5 angles, which is the biggest angle? The biggest angle is 280 degrees. So that is our answer. 280 degrees is the biggest angle of this pentagon. Children, with this we come to the end of this exercise. Thank you, children.